Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Kamal, Hassan, Shahrukh Khan, Priti Zinta. What's going on, guys? I'm Andrew Flash Gordon, and we here at CineDesi are giving you a new segment where I'm going to be giving some trivia for films that I have been reacting to. I have noticed in the comments section where you guys have been letting me know some trivia that has happened, and that's also something I'm also very fascinated with. We thought, hey, let's just turn this into a segment on the channel and see if people like it. So here we are today. We're going to start with the film Enthiran, a film I really love. We're not going over every single piece of trivia because if we were, this would probably be like a 3 or 4 hour video, maybe longer. But we're just gonna go over some of the things I found personally most fascinating. But if you guys want in the comment section, I'd love to hear whatever things that I did miss or didn't go over today. Please hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and smash the like button so you can let YouTube know that you are enjoying videos like this. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, who's, by the way, one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen. This is her 5th Tamil film, and coincidentally, all 5 of them were composed by the epic, amazing, incredible composer A.R. Rahman. And I gotta tell you, his composing in this film was so freaking epic, just from the chitty scenes to when he goes bad. I love it. But I just love the fact that he composed all 5 of the films that Aishwarya worked on. That's just such a cool coincidence and so much fun. This is a film, as of the year it came out, was amongst one of the highest grossing Tamil films of all time, and honestly, with a character as energetic and amazing as Chitty, I can see why. I mean, Chitty is just such a fun character, so I can totally understand why this film made so much freaking money. I mean, I would have paid to see this movie at least 10 times. You can ask Jabby. He knows me that I've seen The Dark Knight like 12 times, and this is a movie I would have seen in theaters at least 10 times. Totally understandable and totally deserving of being one of the highest grossing films in Tamil history. Back in 2001, this film was actually set to star Kamal, Hassan, and Priti Zinta. There's actually photos out there that show them like in character as Chitty, so I'm just gonna have to use my imagination and think of a world where we did get that film, although I do love the 2 main actors that we did get in the film. They were great. They had such great chemistry, but I'm very curious to see what that film would have turned into because those 2 actors, they're fantastic, but the photo shoot at least gives you a picture of what this film could have been. All right, so back in July of 2007, Shahrukh Khan was actually set to produce and star in this film as Chitty.
Did you say Shahrukh Khan?
Shahrukh Khan.
You gotta be kidding me. I didn't know that he was gonna be part of this.
Yep. But unfortunately, in October of 2007, just a few months later, he dropped out of the project. He said that it was half-baked and dull, so didn't work out. You know, we don't always get what we want in life, but you know what? Again, we're just gonna have to imagine a world where he did star in this film. This was actually back since 2001. This was Shankar's dream project. He had always aspired to do this type of film, and this was the film he wanted to do, which was Enthiran, Robot. And so I'm so glad, like honestly, one of my favorite things in just whenever I watch artists or films in general is seeing directors getting to do their thing. And it reminds me a lot to this story, a little bit of James Cameron, how he came up with the idea of Terminator. He was in, I believe it was Paris. He had a nightmare vision of the Terminator and he turned that dream, or rather that nightmare, into a reality.
I was in Rome and I was sick, I don't know what with, some flu-like virus, and had a bit of a fever. Just had a dream, and it was an image that I remembered when I woke up, an image of a kind of chrome skeleton emerging from a fire.
Kind of similarities because we know that Shankar is such good friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger, such a big fan of Terminator and James Cameron and all that and stuff. The parallels of just like turning a dream or a nightmare into a reality. So really cool that he got to make it, and really cool for us because we got this epic masterpiece of a film. So really cool fact on this one, this is probably one of my favorite ones of this. So this was the first Indian film that Mary E. Vogt, who was the costume designer for the Men in Black series with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, and also she did Batman Returns in 1992, directed by Tim Burton. Also we got Yuen Wu Ping, who did the action choreography for Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2, and of course, The Matrix, one of the greatest action choreography of all time.
And Wing Chun with Michelle Yeoh!
Yeah, they both got to work on this film, and I love that we got a little bit of Hong Kong and American style infused into the Indian style of this film. I mean, you can really tell this film is done with such grace and such love of all cultures. Getting some American style, some Hong Kong style, with Indian style. I thought it was a beautiful fit when you bring all three together, and we all get to benefit from that. So this was actually the first Indian film with over 1,500 graphical shots, and you can tell, I mean, there's so many different crazy bombastic sequences when it comes to the visuals in this film. You got the cobras, you got the bad chitties turning into a ball and all that. So when I read that they had over 1,500, I mean, I thought it was probably going to be even more than that, but the fact that it was still that many is insane. So hats off to all the VFX artists that worked on this film. It was insane. Obviously, when we get to 2.0, we'll talk about how that just took it to another level, but still, with the budget they had on this film and what they were able to do, that's impressive when you think about how many graphical shots that they had to work with. I mean, hats off to the VFX team on this. Outstanding job. One of the 3 scripts that was narrated by Shankar to Rajnikanth was actually about an aspiring bodybuilder. You might know that story, film that was directed by S. Shankar, known as I, which came out in 2015, starring the amazing, one of my favorite actors, Vikram, which I might be reacting to. Jabby, let's make it happen. So I thought that was really cool that he had that idea to do that film for so long. Hats off to you, S. Shankar. So the visual appearance of Chitty was actually based upon the visual appearance of G.I. Joes. Now, I didn't play with the G.I. Joe action figures, so I didn't know if this was true, but of course there was that 2009 film that we try to forget about, directed by Stephen Sommers, which starred, of course, Channing Tatum, and you can't tell Channing Tatum's bodysuit and the one that Chitty wore, very similar, although I personally prefer the one Chitty wore. I mean, it's Chitty, come on. It's way better. Chitty, come on. All right, so this was the first time in 30 years that Rajnikanth had played a villain since 1981 in the film Netrikon, and I found that interesting. Now, again, this was my first time, unless Jabby's gonna correct me, that I had seen a film with Rajnikanth when Chitty turns evil and goes bad. Such an amazing job. He just seems so endearing and incredible to me, so that when I read this fact that he had not played a villain in 30 years, I was like, yeah, I could understand that and see that, just because, again, he just comes off as so sweet and melancholy as the doctor in the film, although he can get a little on the jealous side in certain scenes, obviously, that you know what I'm talking about when Chitty's going after his girl. But again, I thought that was an interesting fact. Again, going to the parallels of Arnold Schwarzenegger a little bit. Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you know, in most of his films, he plays the good guy. Again, it's amazing some of the parallels I see, just whether it comes to the friendship of S. Shankar and Arnold, or just Rajnikanth and Arnold, just from an acting perspective. So very fun little coincidences. All right, so the art director of the film, Sabu Cyril, actually played a character in the film known as Shah. He was an interpreter in the film. Now, there's a scene between Bora, the villain of the film, and the terrorist organization that he's working with, and you get to see Sabu in the film. So, you know, the production team, you know, they hire people to be in the film who work on the film. I always find that really endearing and kind, that when they allow them to actually be on the camera, not as, you know, you don't have to hire them to be like a major role or anything, but just give them a little due and let them have a nice little cameo, if anything. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. What did you guys think? Let us know in the comment section. What were some of your favorite moments from this film? If you like these videos, please let us also know, and we will continue doing this. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and smash the like button so you can let YouTube know that you are enjoying what you're watching. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/JabbyKuwait, or become a member of this channel, and we will see you guys on the next video. Later.